Hey there, gang. Welcome back to Papa's Model Workshop. I'm Papa. This is my workshop. I know that I have had requests from folks to see how I display my models, and I've actually had a number of requests to do a shop tour. I've kind of been putting that off a little bit because I did a shop tour not that long ago, but I know that there are new viewers and they may not have seen it, and well, there have been a few upgrades to the shop in the last couple of months, so I'll do that today too. I have circled around to one particular viewer. I think his name was Max Utton, and I've touched back with Max a few times saying, I haven't forgotten, I'm going to do the video and show you how I display my models. So I'm going to finally do that video today along with the shop tour. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I think I'll flip the camera around. I'll take it off the mount. I'll show you one of the displays, which are right there across from where I'm sitting. That used to be up in the living room, and it got moved down here because if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you may recall that the kitchen was being completely gutted over the past summer, and some of the videos you could hear the background noise from the construction in the kitchen, which is right above me, really. So that's finally all done. And anyway, the long and short of that is, in the process of redoing the kitchen, everything from the kitchen had to be moved into the living room. I'm talking about the refrigerator, the stove, everything. And that's why the display that is across from me right now got relocated down here. These displays were up in the living room. They got relocated here and they're still here, so I'll show you that. Okay, so let me take the camera off the mount and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so this is the view that I have right across from my desk, and here is the display that I was describing to you. All right, and this is really pretty neat. This is glass in between. All right, and as you can tell, obviously, it's lighted, and that's really kind of neat. And basically, I put a lot of my models in these clear. I guess this is a clear acrylic display case. I got this at Hobby Lobby. The display case, the shelves and so forth, I got on Amazon. I don't recall exactly how much I paid for these shelves. I think it was under $100. It went together rather nicely. And I don't know, I guess these might end up staying down here because since the kitchen was all redone, the living room was kind of redone a little bit too. So now there's no room for these shelves. So these may end up staying down here, and they haven't been organized. They're kind of just thrown down here and it's a mess. Here's the other one over here. Okay, and it's just piled up with junk. There's one of my paintings right there. All right, that's from a long, long time ago. All right, I have mentioned in the past that I consider what we do with our models to be an art form. And in mentioning that, I have mentioned also that I have a background in the art world to make that opinion. So there's one of my paintings from a long, long time ago. Okay, and I will show you some more of my paintings if you want while we're upstairs looking at my displays. This is where I begin most of my videos, right here, right, and with my stash in the background. Okay, this is kind of a mess. I'll be honest with you. I came down here and I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do for this video. So I kind of really made my decision to finally do this workshop tour at the last second. So nothing is cleaned up. It's kind of a mess. So bear with me as far as that's concerned. So let's go over to the workshop, which is right over here. All right. Here's the new kitchen up there. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. All right. And here is the workshop. I've got my little refrigerator in there with an adult beverage or two stashed away in there. Here's my spoons. Okay, that is the colors for the 56 Del Rey. All right, and this is me and Karen from 100 years ago. And here it is. This is the workshop that you've all seen before. All right, and it's a mess, just like I said. Right, here's the grandchildren's workbench right there. I decided to put a workbench down here for the grandchildren because on weekends, they not only come down here almost every weekend, but they spend hours down here. So I gave them their own workbench. Here is another mess. I've got my spray cans down here, things like thinner. What am I trying to say? Distilled water. That's what that is. And the dehydrator. People have asked me also, do you always have spoons that are primed and ready for testing paint colors? And yes, I do. This is my white primer, black primer, gray, silver, and gold primered spoons. So I can, again, test my paint colors. Okay, so that really is helpful to just be able to reach over and grab a spoon and test a color instead of having to prime it and then wait for it to dry, so that's a big help having that all done. And I have my ultrasonic cleaner over here, which is piled up with junk, right? And the dehydrator, okay. That is the washing station for the 3D printer, which I have not used yet. That's been there almost a year. And I haven't used it yet, mostly because I can't figure out the computer software. The 3D printer actually is not that difficult to use. Actually, I've got another one back there too, so I've got 2 3D printers. And it's the software that's hanging me up. And here is the paint booth right there. Here is the Peterbilt wrecker, just sitting here waiting for me to get back to it. Okay, and I've got my exhaust hose going out the window right up there. More junk. Okay, and here's my air clamp that Gallery sent me, holding all of my airbrushes. And let me see, I've got a Mobius 0.3 airbrush by Gallery. This is an Iwata Eclipse. I've got a Grex, and this is a Picasso. That's got a 0.8 needle in it, I think, right? Let me see. Yeah, 0.8 needle in there. Big needle. I use that primarily for 2K clear and so forth, and I've got other airbrushes back there. This is the paint bench. Okay, again, I kind of decided at the last minute to do this, so it's a mess. I keep a lot of my tools on the magnetic ribbon right here. That's very helpful. My paint mixer right there. All right, and that doesn't really show up as moving on camera. Believe me, this thing is moving. And here I have my my paints and so forth. This was just added not too long ago. I wanted to get the paints up off of the workbench. I had a heck of a time looking for shelving to go overhead in the right dimensions that I wanted. So I finally got fed up and I just bought some wood and built these myself. So this is a homemade shelf that I've got these up on, and of course my Hobby Zone organizers. I keep a lot of my tools and so forth in here, and this is great. And in these smaller ones, I've got things like, paint stirrers. These are just coffee sticks, really. Things like, cotton swabs. And I always call these paper clips. I don't know why. They're toothpicks. Mental block. I always call toothpicks paper clips. I don't know why. Papa is becoming senile. And, some more paints and so forth. Okay. And let me show you this. This is great. I got these at Lowe's. These are really bright LEDs. They clamp right to the workbench here. But the thing that's really kind of great about these is they're on these adjustable wands here. So if I'm working on something down here, okay, if I'm hunched over and working on something, I can just grab this and pull this down here and, you know, really get some light on the area. So anyway, yeah, that's the paint bench right there. Okay. And this is this, you know, half of the workshop. All right. And then we come over this. This is great, by the way, too. Okay. I don't care what you've got on your hands. This stuff will take off anything. All right. You put just a little bit of water in your hand, and then you put this in your hand, and really, this takes off anything. And I paid, I think, $10 for that on Amazon. Look at the size of that, $10. Back to the grandchildren's workbench, and then we've got the mess over here. More stuff hanging around on the pegboard. Okay, John, here's your stuff still waiting for you. Okay, I haven't forgotten. It didn't get pushed aside. It's waiting there for you. My friend John needed that piece. And here's these little plastic cups that I talk about. And I got these at dollar store. And you get like 10 of them. And they're great, you know, for holding small parts. I have advocated in the past that when you're working on a given area of your build, you can pluck the parts out of your color organizer and put the parts, if you're working on the engine, for example, you can pluck all the parts out of the color organizer and put them into this little cup. And just, you know, kind of speeds things along. And people ask me all the time, why do I have a dental floss thing in here? I use this for cleaning the airbrush, actually. In fact, I'll take you back over here real quick and I'll show you. Here's some other ones right over here. Okay. And these fit right down in the throat of the airbrush. It'll get right down in there. And then on the other side, okay, if you're cleaning the jets on the inside here, that looks like it needs to be cleaned. If you're cleaning the jets on the inside, this will fit very nicely inside those jets. So that is the reason I have these here. No, I'm not flossing my teeth while I'm at the workbench, okay? We've got, well, this is still part of the Peterbilt wrecker. And these are the organizers that I mention quite often. I separate all of my parts from the sprue, and I organize them by color, and I paint them, okay? And again, that's just something that I do, and I find it to be efficient and very helpful. Okay, this is the Del Rey, as a matter of fact, and down here is the Peterbilt wrecker. Okay, and for those of you who are brand new, when I say removing parts from the sprue, basically what I'm referring to is this: the plastic trees that hold the parts. That's referred to as sprue, okay? And I remove all of that, as I said, and I put it down right there, okay? And then I have a larger one here. Let me get this out of the way, which is underneath this mess here. And, you know, you have larger containers here, okay? And it comes in a big case. And what all of this is I write down all of my paint mixtures on little notes like this. And as I just mentioned a minute ago, these shelves up here are relatively new. All right, maybe 2 or 3 months old, I guess. I did this. And before these shelves were put here, all of these paints were down here. So this wall was just an open wall. Okay, and I had all of this hung up on the wall. It looked like a messy collage, I guess. It worked well for me because if I was sitting at the paint bench, I could just simply at a glance look up for whatever paint I was using and get the proper mixing ratio. So all of that has been sitting here for the last couple of months. I have not found a new home for it. I think what I'm going to end up doing is actually putting all of this in a 3-ring binder and just keeping that 3-ring binder next to the paint bench. Okay, and this is something that's kind of neat. I got this on eBay. This is called Revel Junkyard is where I got all of this. I needed one part. And so I went to eBay, found Revel Junkyard, and, I gritted my teeth thinking, okay, you know what? $10 for one part, that's kind of expensive, but you know what? I'll just grit my teeth. I'll pay the $10. I'll get my part. I'll be able to move on. And to my surprise, I not only got the part, but I got this whole thing. Okay, so now all of a sudden that $10 was well worth it. Look at all that. There's enough in there to actually just about make your own build. So Revel Junkyard is a good place to go and check on eBay. Yeah, here's Karen. Everybody asks me all the time, is her name really Karen? Yes, it is. Her name really is Karen. Okay, she had that name long before it became a social media thing. So there's Karen. All right, already showed you this. Let's get over here to the assembly bench. Okay, now a lot of times this is what you see when I'm on camera, is this down in here. What you probably don't see is the overhead lighting that I have here. All right, and in addition, this is a magnifier. Okay, this opens up. And this is really very helpful, especially when you get up to be my age. I'm going to be 65 very soon, and your eyes are not what they used to be. So that sits up here, all right, and also provides additional light. These are parts bins mostly. I have other things like, I have some of my sanding pads or sanding sponges in here. Okay, and decals and so forth. Just a myriad of stuff. Okay, my plastic cups and all kinds of stuff. More Hobby Zone organizers right down here. Okay, and this is something that I kind of came up with. This is a Lazy Susan that, excuse me, that I got at, I don't know where I got it, actually. Excuse me. I'm leaning back and grabbing things, and the camera's wandering. I apologize about that. I don't know where Karen actually got me this. I think she got it at Home Goods or Bed Bath, someplace like that. But that's all that is just a Lazy Susan you pick up at any household store, okay? Then what I did was I took this, and I just threw my wheels all over the place. I took this work pad that you can get at Hobby Lobby or any hobby store really, and I measured a piece of particle board. Okay, I got this at Home Depot, so I measured that particle board so it would fit underneath this work pad, and I sandwiched the whole thing together, and I can then just simply work here and rotate things around without having to touch this. If I have glued parts that are not cured yet and you don't want to touch it, this allows me to turn things around without having to touch a piece where glue is still drying. Okay, let me stack up my wheels here again. This is for the Del Rey. Okay, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. I have a little water dispenser down here because you always need water. Karen picked this up for me. I asked her if she would, in her travels, pick up a water dispenser for me, and I got a pink one with flowers. Okay, it does the job. And of course, the dogs have their treats down here. And this back here, believe it or not, which is also something that's been sitting for quite a while. This is for making windows and windshields and so forth. This is actually, I can't think of the name of this particular piece. It escapes me. I'm sorry, mental block. But anyway, yeah, this will make windshields and so forth. And then, just the rest of my mess here. Okay, so that's, and this I use for you know, sending things out, and I've got my bubble wrap for when I go to shows and so forth. This is actually a display case that I got at NNL East, I think. Hang on, let me see if I can get this thing out here. Nope, I turned it over the wrong way. Hang on. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Okay. Here we go. That looks like it'll hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like it'll hold 8 models. Okay. I got that at NNL East about 2 years ago. And if you want to know the truth, I actually forgot about that thing. So I will have to make use of that. Okay. So this is it. This is the workshop. Okay. And my little kingdom down here. Okay. So I'll tell you what. Let's run upstairs. I will show you where I have some of my models displayed. Okay, hang on. Okay, we're up here in the living room, and I hope that this comes out because I've got a bank of windows right over here. Okay, bay windows, and I hope that the glare from those windows isn't killing this picture here. So anyway, this is a lighted curio. And here's my monster truck. I'll try to get that in close so you can see that I patinaed that a little bit, made it mud cased and so forth. This one went to, I don't remember which show this went to, but this did go to a show. Here's my 66 Fleet Side. This one went to NNL East. Okay. So I got the tag from there, so that's how I know that that went. This went to a couple of shows actually, and I've got my big rig down here. This has not gone to a show simply because the thing is just too big. It's too big to pack up. One of these days I may figure out a way to pack this thing up and bring it to a show. Here's my 1932 Gangster Imperial. This was actually a fun build. This was an AMT kit. And AMT sometimes can be a little bit cranky to work with. This one went together very nicely. You can see that the windshield here, see, it's got the bullet holes in it. Okay, and yeah, this was a fun build. And this one went to NNL East too. Doesn't have the NNL East tag there. I don't know what happened to it. And then over here, okay, we have my other display. Okay, this is just sitting on some shelves here. All right, and this I got on Amazon, and has the clear acrylic in the front, and you can just slide that off. Again, these went to NNL East. Okay, in fact, this 71 CUDA right here was selected to be photographed at a show. I don't recall which show it was, but I was pretty charged that that was selected to be photographed. And my 48 Ford, I really like the paint job on this one. My Mercedes down here, this also went to NNL East, and my Chrysler 300. This is one of my favorite paint jobs. This was Mr. Hobby Metallic Green, and that came out rather nice. These displays, okay, as you can tell, looks like a parking garage. The thing that was kind of surprising to me was it was very difficult to find a display that lights up that you can plug in. I didn't want a battery display because I keep these on all the time. And if they're on all the time, 24 hours a day, and you have batteries in there, it's going to run out of batteries constantly. So that was a little bit difficult, but I did find it. Here's some others. This is my gasser. This went to NNL East also. And if you look at the logo on my channel, this is the actual truck that is in the logo for Papa's Model Workshop. This is a 1937 Ford pickup. And down here, I have my Cadillac Eldorado. I don't know why I did it in this color. I did it a long time ago. I don't like these colors, but anyway, there it is. All right. And, you know, I've got some parts sitting here because the grandchildren occasionally get into the models and things get torn off. So okay, let's go over here. I'll show you some of my paintings that I've done in the past. Okay, since we're standing here, this is a painting that I did, I don't know when, sometime back in the early 90s, back when I was an oil painting artist. I don't think I've got the date on there. Some of these, yeah, I don't have a date on there. Some of these I sign it and I date it. Okay, and over here is another one. Okay, this is kind of dark. Let me see if I can get a light on in here. Okay, and again, I don't think is there a signature on here even? There it is. Okay, yeah, no date, but I do have a signature on there. Okay, now with the light on, let me take a look at this again with the light on. Yeah, it looks better with the light on, I think. All right, and I've got another one hanging up in the kitchen. So I'll show you that quick. Okay, take a walk through my Mets den real fast. And this was also done sometime in the early 90s, I guess. Let me see, do I have a signature on? Yes, there's a there you go. October, there it is, October of 91. So I did have a date on this one. Okay. And you know, swing back here, you can see that summer is over. The pool is all closed up for the winter, so we will wake that up again, I guess, at the end of May. And back over here, okay, that goes back down to my dungeon. So hang on, and I'll meet you back down there. Okay, gang, so that is the tour. So for all of you who have been requesting a tour and to see how I display some of my models, I hope that you know, was something that you found interesting. I apologize to some of you because some of you asked me a while ago and I just got to it now. So anyway, that's done. Check that one off the list. A couple of shout outs. Bill Beers asked for a shop card. Bill, your shop card is actually in the outgoing mail basket right now as we speak. So that's going out probably later on today. Another gentleman by the name of Steve, I think he's in upstate New York. I can't recall. But anyway, your shop card is sitting next to Bill's in the outgoing mail basket. And your shop card will be going out with Bill's shop card probably later on today. If you want a shop card, there is the email address, so you can simply do what Bill and Steve did. They wrote to me, asked for a shop card, and it's sitting in the basket waiting to go out. If you're a content creator and you would like to swap, there it is. There's my address. Okay, and I would love to swap shop cards with you if you're a shop, what am I trying to say? Content creator. That's what I'm trying to say. I need more coffee. Okay. And of course, shout out to my sponsor, Gallery. Okay. And as I've mentioned in the past, anything that you buy from Gallery, that includes their Kaleido paints, you will get 10% off if you put in my discount code at checkout. There's a little box says discounts, I think. You'll see it when you check out. But anyway, if you put that in, PPMW, you will get 10% off of everything. So that's a good deal. Okay, so I think that will do it for this video. And we got over 800 subscribers. I finally got over the 800 mark. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to all my subscribers. I appreciate it more than I can put into words. I'm hoping to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So if you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook watching this, jump over to YouTube and look up Papa's Model Workshop and subscribe. Okay, give me a thumbs up. And you can leave me comments here on the channel or on Facebook. And many of you email me questions and comments as well. So, and I just gave you the email address. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up here. This is getting on to almost a half an hour again. I'm trying to shorten these, and I ran up to a half an hour again. So I am going to sign off. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.